And next, Mr. Daniel Gebler, together with, from Picnic, together with his partner Mark van der Grien from Snowflake. It's good to have an award winner at the table, being awarded by CEO Magazine last year with the most innovative
it's okay.
And then we go
award.
to the bar.
Yeah, we go to the bar.
Nothing wrong?
Daniel has a beard, that's all.
Oh la la.
I'm still here. Timing wrong. Do I miss something? I'm sorry. You see, you don't have to let me do this, right? Then it goes wrong. But, sorry, Kemal, I will come back to you. Daniel, as Picnic innovation is in your genes, the technology platform forms the basis for further growth. The challenge is to keep up with speed and flexibility. How does your business relate to IT?
It's a very interesting question because in Picnic, we consider technology and business two sides of the same coin, which means that with technology, everything starts. We build solutions, we build products that later business can operate and can improve. But also business provides, again, feedback on how we can improve it on the technology side. So therefore, this is a continuous loop between business and technology, where we are both working together on building the best solution for customers.
But why is that so important?
It's important because if you want to make a real transition from tech as a cost center to a profit center, from tech being the driver of the business, you need to organize yourself in a way that technology can also drive your business, that can unlock new opportunities. So therefore, there's a software angle and a data angle to it that in a continuous way improves the business solutions.
Yes. Daniel, you've been a CTO of Picnic now for a while. How has your role changed? What does it look like today?
So the role of a CTO, especially in an extremely fast-growing business, is changing rapidly. In the beginning, it's a system designer. Later, it's more kind of a team leader. And then at some point, it's more kind of an organizational designer. But what becomes really important is that while you're preparing the organization for the future, you need to set up both the architecture and the tech stack that the organization can achieve the future. But even more important is that you make yourself a bit less dependent on the organization. So that means that the future success of the organization is less dependent on you. So therefore, the best possible outcome is that all the teams, the technology teams and business teams, work very closely together and can design themselves the future of the organization.
Thank you. A couple of years ago, I didn't thought this question was possible with you, but you are dealing with legacy depth IT. Can you tell a little bit about that?
So every organization has legacy. So we have now 7 years of business operating, so therefore there's a little bit of legacy. Many organizations have obviously much more legacy. The interesting question to ask is legacy, or how can you translate legacy towards an asset that you can really build on top of it? So what we are looking into is how you can build an evolutionary architecture that can evolve as your business grows with your technology, but also which kind of core building blocks can you build that you will also need in the future, or that you change at a stage where you need to change it.
Yes. In today's data-driven world, more and more data, you have to do specifically something about your data choices of the past. Can you highlight that?
So the data choices themselves means that which data do you collect and which kind of, especially data models, do you build. And we started with a solution that couldn't scale with us, and we have been looking for a solution where both from velocity, verity, and verity kind of perspective, it could scale with the solutions. But even more, it can scale also in the way how data feeds back in software systems, because this continuous loop of you're operating a business, it feeds back to the technology, and then technology improves for the next day operation is something what makes a continuous loop of improvement.
So in this case, Mark, what role did Snowflake play here?
First, I would like to go back a step. 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and some people in the room might recognize the story.
Mr. Frank Slootman was on stage.
Mr. Frank Slootman was on stage. And
Big
he gave
dogs, little dogs, right?
I won't go into the dog story, but he gave you all the challenge, right? To develop yourself from a chief information officer into a chief innovation officer. And that brought back the story to where we are today. Out of technology, so out of the data warehouse built for the cloud, but now into the data cloud. So we'll have our partners, our customers, being able to sell their data, their valuable data, to their suppliers, to their partners, and now also into the data cloud. So that is where I think we stepped out of technology and into the data world.
Right. And do you really find that is a USP or the USP?
I think it's an important difference. We can obviously, yes, we can say we are fast. We have a different model in sending invoices and all these things, but those are technology things, right? And those are solution-specific things. We would like to be on the business side of our customers. And I think Picnic is a very good example of this.
So Mark, tell us and the audience a little bit, what is it like to work with Picnic? How are they different from maybe more traditional organizations?
What we have seen at a lot of sales cycles, I should say, being commercial, that sometimes we just are at a table when the decisions have already been taken. Strategical, the road is clear, and it's now only about operations. It's about what can you do? Can you set a tick in a box? And then, what is your price? At Picnic, we were in the very beginning of our life together, right? Our partnership, and that really brought us into a different situation there.
Right.
Yep.
So if you take that, Daniel, in what sense or how, because the audience is, how is the question today, right? So how, in this case, will help these models to further development for yourself, for Picnic?
So the transition that we have started when working with Snowflake is we started initially a large set of kind of software systems to operate the kind of version 1 of Picnic. And then obviously with all kind of reporting, we could retrospectively afterwards see how we are performing. But the real deal is that whatever you collect as data feeds into your data software systems back and improves the models, the AI, machine learning, deep learning models for the operation of tomorrow. And that is something what we have been able to build over the last 2 years together with Snowflake, where we have now automatically optimization of logistics, of payment, and of all kind of other solutions on a day-in, day-out basis. And that means that every day of operation of Picnic makes the Picnic tech stack a little bit better for tomorrow's operation.
Right. If I take it one step there, besides it's always good to see that the king is opening a new warehouse, but Europeans' finest, I believe. Right? Yep, you have
That's what the king says.
Yes. But if you take it to the next level, so how will, in the end, that whole grocery stuff change? Right? Later on, we got Mr. Albert Heijn also on stage, right? But how does it change?
The interesting thing is we are a technology company that accidentally delivers food. But in essence, we are a platform where we can operate a lot of logistical models. And we will see a bit on what the future brings here. But this kind of technology where we started with manual fulfillment, now have started a robotized automated fulfillment, gives a lot of opportunities for the future.
Yes. Daniel, in such a data-driven world, protecting, say, data operations, ethical data, etc., is truly important. Will that become part of your job, or how does Picnic organize for that?
It became already part of my job when we started Picnic. So that is something what we actually already ingrained in the design of our data models, of our access models, all kind of security means. But the new dimension that we are entering now is, since we are also starting with robotized fulfillment, is the entire space of edge security for all our data operation. Because with robotized operation, you have a lot of kind of physical infrastructure that you have on-premise deployed. And now the space of physical infrastructure and on-premise and cloud infrastructure and the security between is a kind of entire new exciting dimension that we are moving into.
Great. Daniel and Mark, thank you very much. And I really appreciate your openness here. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.